Oh, happy Thanksgiving, everyone. You know, the one day you can get away with murder, since if a cop comes up to you, all you gotta say is, "I'm thankful you didn't arrest me," and they have to listen. It's Thanksgiving. However, it's also a day to celebrate some of the best things we, as human beings, have been given. Now, some may say friends, or family, or even the fact that you, as a human being, have been doing the best you can be in the best Okay, I can't keep a straight face. It's turkey. Yes, turkeys. This holiday only exists to give turkeys the glory they deserve. And without them, what would be the point of Thanksgiving? Nothing. Exactly. So that's why today I'm going to show you a recipe on how to cook turkey to its finest form. And the first ingredient you need is, of course, the one, the only, turkey. Huh. I swear I placed it in here. Maybe the dishwasher. Okay, I guess we don't have one, so the next best step is to get a new one at the grocery store. So, come on fellows, follow me! What has this world come to? Well, what the hell am I gonna do now? Thanksgiving is ruined, all thanks to those damn chickens! Oh wait, they're for the Wii? Oh no. Well, seeing how I'm in a very big getting revenge on chickens mood, we'll just go on ahead and jump right into playing these Wii games. But first, I gotta get in the farmer mood. What are y'all looking at? I'm guaranteed if you've seen any worst Wii games ever list, Chicken Shoot was always on there. It was heavily criticized by reviewers and players for being a terrible version of the original 2000 game that was released on Windows. And while I have no experience with the original game whatsoever, I do have experience with these shooter games on Wii. I mean, I'm the same guy who beat an arcade shooting gallery and still lived to tell the tale, so how bad can this one be? Of course, with these Wii games, I always like to take a look at its Wii channel intro to get a feel of the game, and seeing how this one doesn't use the same logo as its cover, and the music is borderline torturous, make it stop, make it stop, I believe it's a sign that things can only go up from here. We then cut to the game's menu, and suddenly we can see that we have two main ways to play this game, seeing how both arcade and classic are basically the same exact thing. Catch an Egg, on the other hand, is a little mini game where you have to, you won't believe this, catch an egg to gain points. And trust me, it's easier said than done. You see, you would think a minigame that requires you to quickly input directions would be used with either the analog stick or the D-pad, but no, you have to use the Wii's motion control. Now, over time, I did get the hang of it, seeing I'm a damn master at this point, but it doesn't ignore the fact that you look like a shitty orchestra conductor while doing so. But hey, we're already judging this game by a single minigame, so how about we see what the other modes has in store instead? Well, the main portion of this wonderful experience has you aiming the Wii remote around and shooting all kinds of chickens, until eventually reaching the next stage. Each stage comes with a unique theme for its layout and chickens, and there is a decent variety of chickens to shoot. As I'm sure as you can tell, I'm using a lot of quotes. We got chickens doing their laundry, chickens listening to their tunes, and chickens just casually relaxing on a nice snowy day. Now kill them all! However, I would argue that killing them is only half the challenge, because bad hit reception is another enemy to worry about. Like seriously, I would have my sights directly on them at this moment, and it still miss within the first few shots. And that's just one of the game's biggest downfalls. It just doesn't work properly half the time. I mean, it has some alright qualities. Music-wise, it ranges from just okay to, "Hey Luigi, are you alright?" Okay, sounds good. And the animations, while not Studio Ghibli levels, are just alright by their own means. And I'm sure with just a bit more polish, this game would turn out to be just another average Wii game. But with these issues and the other ones I'm about to complain about, it just makes it a terrible slog to go through. But it's like the old saying, an average game will eventually be forgotten, but a bad game will always be remembered. That's a saying, right? Anyway, let's get back to the actual gameplay, where I have a few more things to complain about. First and foremost, the challenge. Even on the game's hardest difficulty, the game is extremely easy. All you really have to do is aim and shoot. Wow! And yeah, there's some tougher chickens at the end of each level, which is represented by some sparkles, but all it takes to bring them down is just a few extra shots. And the game rarely adds any new enemy types as well. After the first few levels, the only thing that changes is the appearance of some chickens, and even then, it's borderline lazy. But another issue I want to cover is the damn sound design, because, wait, sorry, what were you saying? Pickles? What? The sound design in this game is atrocious because nothing really blends well together. Oh, do you like this shooting sound? Oh, you do? Well, here, have some more. Oh wait, let me guess, you're more of an old man laughing every 5 seconds kind of person. Well, why didn't you say so? This, on top of the dumbass cartoon and chicken sound effects, makes it completely overbearing. Like, I would much rather listen to Minecraft parody songs on full blast than listen to this for 5 more minutes. And that's saying something. But we can't ignore the fact that the best part of the sound design is when some of the chickens die, they sound like Courage the Cowardly Dog from, well, Courage the Cowardly Dog. And I think that's pretty neat. However, we finally get to my last big complaint. The story. I know, it's a Wii game about a stupid farmer who is shooting chickens. I get the last thing I should worry about is a story, but hear me out. How does this farmer go from shooting these chickens at his farmstead because, I don't know, they was eating his food or something to, I don't know, the fucking Himalayas? It just makes me wonder if this is a story about not just a farmer who wants to kill every chicken around his farm, but every damn chicken in the world, because he sure has the money to fly from country to country with his creepy grin face. And oh yeah, did I mention there's a health bar in this game? Can you see it? No? Well, of course you can't. It's behind the hunter, you dummy. And I didn't even realize this until someone else pointed it out to me. Look, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that, but this game is making me extremely frustrated. But, to be fair, it is an arcade shooting game on the Wii, so I should cut it some slack. Or cut it in half. Yeah, let's do that. Well, I can see why that's considered as one of the worst Wii games out there. So how about we move on to hopefully greener pastures with the next game. So first of all, if we take a look at the front cover, we can see the start of the Wii Zapper trend that many of these shooting games follow. And seeing how I'm a newly owner of one of these accessories, I decided to test it out for you guys on one of the best games for it. I'm going to esports, baby! Chicken Riot begins with, oh golly gee, a main menu. And automatically we can see that this game has, oh god, what is that? It's just a chicken that pops up every few seconds? Okay, can I kill it? Huh, well that wasn't too... Well, it looks like he won't die, so let's try our best to get the hell out of here and hop into the story mode. The story mode consists of 8 different levels, and automatically I can tell that this game had a lot more effort put into it compared to the last game. Each level begins with a little still image that is accompanied by some funny chicken sounds. And these, ladies and gentlemen, represent the story this game tells. It's basically the same with all these chicken murdering games. An angry hunter goes out of his way to kill chickens because something happened that just pissed him off. But at least this game keeps it consistent and has most of the levels take place around the farm area. Now, some may argue and say that it will just make each level feel indistinctive to each other, but I don't know, I think it does a decent job in at least keeping each area fresh. Well, fresher than the other game. My personal favorite has to be the graveyard level, just because it's the most unique aesthetic out of the bunch and you get to fight little chicken ghosts. Also, it's based on the best holiday of the year, Labor Day. However, the levels wouldn't matter if the game controlled like garbage, and luckily, that isn't the case here. Compared to Chicken Shoot, this game controls like butter, and it's refreshing to actually be able to aim at a chicken and see it die. And what I find the funniest is that this game uses 3D environments, and it still has a better hit reception than the 2D levels of Chicken Shoot. Like, I've dabbled myself into coding a little bit, and I can't see why this game has a much harder time with this issue compared to this one. But like my dad always says, you can't compare your kids to each other. So let's just forget about comparing this game to that game, and just talk about this game and see what it has to offer on its own. The first thing I noticed when I was playing this is that it actually does a decent job at keeping the player engaged. Each level offers up a fun area to look at, and since it's on rails and you don't have to worry about moving yourself, it can keep you completely focused on murdering as many chickens as possible. And speaking of chickens, each level also has a variety of different chicken enemies, and at the end of each one, they introduce a new enemy type. Oh, let me guess, it's gonna be like fried chicken or something.
Mr. Henderson, welcome back.
Oh, never mind, it's just your run-of-the-mill Matrix chicken! What's next, Terminator chicken?
Hasta la vista, baby.
Well, Ferb, I know what we're doing today.
Free fortunes, come get your free fortunes.
Hey lady, could you check my fortune?
Yes, let me see your hand real quick. Ooh. You're about to hear a guy complain about chickens for the next 10 minutes.
What?
Yeah, so it seems like a good bit of these introduced chickens are references to other media. You have your previously mentioned Matrix and Terminator ones, and then you get to the Dracula and, Darth Vader chickens. Hey, I'm not complaining. I honestly think it's pretty charming to see the game shake things up a bit with these different enemies. And at least it keeps the game somewhat engaging, seeing how each one has their own mechanic to battle. The other engaging aspect I want to mention is the golden eggs scattered throughout each level. They're not the hardest things to spot while playing the game, but it at least keeps you occupied while you're waiting for the next batch of chickens to pop up. It's also fun to hear this announcer girl say the same thing each time you find one.
You have found a golden egg.
Thanks, I didn't notice. And if that's not enough, the game also has an achievement list for anyone who cares enough. So if you want your $10 worth on this game, then you sure as hell gonna get it. However, all good things are bound to end, and for me, it ended when I reached this part of level 7 because that's when my game decided to crash. So I did what any sane Wii owner would do. I took out the game, cleaned it with the best tools I had available, placed it back in, and well, it didn't do shit. And it truly sucks because I was actually enjoying myself with this game. Maybe not in the same levels of enjoyment like watching paint dry or something, but I at least wanted to see how the game ended. But sigh, if only there's a way to see the ending to a 2010 Wii game about shooting chickens. If only. Look, I just found out YouTube existed like 10 seconds ago. Give me a break. So the game finally ends with a battle against a chicken robot and a good enough meal to feed 2.5 Lemlytons. So all in a day's work. And I guess I should also mention the minigames real quick, and to sum them up, they're just alright. Nothing crazy, but if you're in a I want to kill 100 chickens right now kind of mood, they seem to fulfill that purpose. However, there's also a minigame about killing 100 bats for some reason, and I swear, when they die, it sounds like you're cleaning your fucking windows. It's music to my ears. And that's all I really had to say about Chicken Riot. It's not the most impressive Wii game out there, but after playing that, it was actually nice to play a decent game for once. So that means it can go right back on my shelf, unharmed and all. And that finally brings us to our last game we have today, Chicken Blaster. And I gotta say, after playing Chicken Riot, I have high hopes for this one. I mean, nothing can top the disaster that is that. So how bad can this one be? Like seriously, there's no way this one can be as bad. I'm so sorry. Alright guys, I want you to take a look at this box art and tell me what's wrong. Is it the nightmarish looking chicken, or how about the fact that it's rated T for cartoon violence? Well, if you guess either one of those, you're wrong, because it's actually this little thing right here. Zoo Publishing, the same people who published my childhood nightmare, Arcade Shooting Gallery, and a multitude of garbage Wii games. Their track record is one of the worst ones out there when it comes to publishing video games, and this game is no exception. First thing you'll notice is that this is one of the most lackluster menus you can get. Not only with this PNG of a chicken fading in and out for some reason, but also if you look behind the title of the game, it looks straight up like, single player. So we have to make ourselves a profile, and seeing how this game doesn't even convey what keys you're typing, I accidentally named myself PP and clicked OK. And you know what, that's fine, because next we have to choose what stage we want to play on, and those dang developers really wanted to be sure how you spend the next 5 dreading minutes, because there's 2 stage selection screens. You can't make this up. And what do we get when we jump into the first stage? Chickens. All we get is chickens. Like seriously, immediately upon loading in the stage, the game throws you a shit ton of chickens to shoot with no explanation at all. I mean, I get it, it's not that hard to figure out how to aim at a chicken and shoot it, but throwing this many chickens at the player within the first second of the first level just seems so silly to me. And compared to the other games, there's no story to this one, not even in little picture cutscenes or the game's manual. All there is chickens, and it seems like they can't even get that right. Okay, I want you to do me a favor and look at how these chickens pop up on the screen. Ready? Bullshit. There, they just fade in for some reason. No animations of them popping up behind barrels or anything, they just throw a bunch of them on screen with a little fade transition. And here, let me lay it out with some M&Ms real quick. Right here, we got ourselves a level. An example on how these chickens should appear is like this. See? Easy. Now, how did Chicken Blaster do it? It's just fascinating. And even with a zillion chickens on screen, they're piss easy to shoot because all it takes is one shot. And it doesn't even matter that there's different types of chickens with unfinished animations, they're all the exact same. One shot, one dead chicken, rinse and repeat. However, we can't forget that this game also added bosses for every other level, and they share a common trope with the normal chickens. They're all the same as well. Break down the green egg barrier by shooting their green eggs, and then shoot them when they're vulnerable. That's it. Even the final boss follows this formula and is just so stupid. But you know what's not stupid? A T-posing scarecrow boss that just hovers around the screen. No. That's not stupid. That's smart. Because it made me want to continue this game to see how bad it could actually get. And, oh boy. Next we should talk about the levels themselves. And it just goes right back to the weird layout shit from Chicken Shoot. Okay, sure, the first couple of levels are farm themed. I don't know why in the barn level you have to shoot the barn doors open instead of using your hands. But besides that, they're fine enough. But after that, we go to, the Wild West, and then after that, Antarctica. You know what? I'm done questioning the logic of these levels. How about we go ahead and talk about the way they play? Oh, good point. Let me lay it out real quick. Kill a certain amount of chickens by mashing the B button over and over again with no skill whatsoever. Flick the nunchuck analog stick to progress when the icon says to do so, and then repeat that about, let's say, 10 more times. Does that sound fun? Well, then you're dumb. And the best part is at the end of each level, it gives you a few stats on how you played, and my favorite has to be the favorite weapon category. The main reason why I like this one so much is because you'll never have another favorite weapon besides the pistol. Your pistol is the only weapon that has infinite ammo. Every other gun you get is only temporary, so why the hell would you have a favorite weapon stat at the end of each level? You might as well have a how many glitches and bugs did you encounter stat as well, because I'm sure that's pretty constant. Another big issue of this game has to be the constant bugs and clipping throughout the multitude of chickens, and the game even glitched out on me when I paused to write down some notes. This is it, ladies and gentlemen, the chicken purgatory. No continuing from this hellhole. And while you're in this hellhole, you get to hear the perfect example on why this is worse than Chicken Shoot. The sound design somehow managed to get worse. Like seriously, at this part of the game, you hear the same sound effect play every time you hit these chickens, but all they did was randomly change the volume of the audio clip back and forth. I know, I want to cut my ears off too. And these chicken death sound effects are the main sound you're gonna hear throughout your 30-minute playthrough. I mean, other sounds are there, but I didn't even notice some of them until halfway through the game, especially the farmer sound effects, which are barely even recognizable. However, I do have one big positive comment to make about this game, and that's its length. At least I can beat this game within the same amount of time it takes for me to take a shit, and they even share a common factor. They both stink! The end of this game has you going to a chicken planet of sorts called The Nest, and there you fight some chickens and UFOs and kill the leader. And finally, we completed the game. You finished the fantastic story? Wow, it must have been so fantastic that I must have missed the whole fucking thing. And what's this? Accuracy? Only 62%? I'll show you accuracy. Well, fellow folks, that completes the story this game tells. So how about we take a look on what else it offers. So it looks like we got a quest mode and a survival mode, and they're all the same! Quest mode only has you doing the same levels, but with a specific objective, and survival mode has you doing the same levels, but with one life, which doesn't even matter because you'll never die in this game. And that's really it. No level change up, no new enemies, hell, not even rearranged power-ups. They're all the same. Oh, wait, they're all the same. I can't believe it. They're all the same. You tell me every week they're the same? It's the same. They're all the same. The same. chicken games on the Wii. If you're an avid chicken hater and you don't mind mind-numbing gameplay and ear-bleeding sound effects, then I implore you to try these games out. They might not be fun, and hell, they might not even qualify as a way to entertain yourself, but they'll definitely make you go outside and wonder about the actions of your life. And hey, if you have a hostage, there's even a multiplayer mode for all of these games. The only reason I'm bringing it up now though is because it's nothing different from the normal game. You have a second cursor, and that is all. But the main takeaway I'm getting from these games is that chickens aren't that bad. Yeah, they don't serve much of a purpose besides giving us little protein ovals, but to hate them where I spend thousands of dollars traveling the world and killing every single one, I don't think I have that in me. And hey, it's great to be thankful every once in a while, so if you chicken pals are listening out there, I just want to say that I'm so thankful for... Oh, never mind, that's a Thanksgiving dinner is ready bell. See you suckers later! Alrighty, what are we having tonight? Want some?